Hi, my name is Avril DeLaLlana. I'm a senior at Lafayette High School. I would say I'm a pretty outgoing personality, ENFP, type 7, Taurus, if that says anything about me. My favorite class, can I say drama? Theater class is probably my favorite class, like not to be the theater kid, but it's definitely a fun class. Some hobbies, I'm really passionate about photography. I love to do photography. I really hope to pursue it and one day be a photographer. I go on photo shoots at least once a week, and yeah. I think the pandemic has kind of forced me to grow as a person. You know, at the beginning of quarantine where you're kind of stuck at home, everything, like this sudden change that nobody could have seen coming just happens and you're stuck at home. You can't see like friends, or so many of the things we've taken for granted have like been taken away from us. Like all the plans and travel that we've wanted to, like looking forward to, or like the end of the school year, those are all gone away. So the pandemic has kind of forced me to like spend a lot of time with myself, and in that period also like forced me to grow as a person and like see what I really wanted to do, especially being a junior, because that started a junior year. I think that really has helped me grow and like make the decisions that I have made as a senior. Yeah, I think senior year was something that I missed out on. I mean, the majority of my senior year has been taken away. Yes, there was some pros to it, but it's also like this big thing, like it's your last year of high school. I mean, that's kind of a milestone. Like you would want to be actually fully experiencing it and like be there for it. But instead with this pandemic, I mean, I would say it was dealt with in a really good way. I think online learning had some like good things come out of it, but also it's like, I wish I was still in school, like in person. So I have been able to continue some activities, although they have been really different with COVID restrictions. Like every rehearsal, we have to sanitize every 30 minutes. That's what we're doing. It's called Sanity Time. We have to wear a mask at all times, of course. I think the hardest part of it is not having a live audience for most of the shows, because I mean, it's theater. That's part of what theater is having that audience there, and it's part of the entire experience. I think the most difficult part of having NTI was keeping focus and like not being distracted, because I worked and did my schoolwork and did school in the same place I slept. It was in my bedroom. So I mean, you're surrounded by distractions. Your bed is right there. It's so easy to just turn off your camera, put on mute, and take a nap during your class. So it's really like, you have to be like put in the mentality like, oh my gosh, I am in school. Like some benefits of NTI, however, were C days. I love C days. I think they were the best thing that have ever happened. I mean, like even with NTI and like the challenge of like being distracted on like distractions because you're at home and having to focus, like C days really gave a lot of like leeway to catch up on all the work that you did miss. Through NTI, I have been able to connect with some friends through social media, which in moderation is really good with like communicating with friends and like, hey, like knowing what they're up to and feeling less alone. Towards the end of like quarantine, when restrictions were alleviated a little bit, I did have like my little circle of friends that I would like have lunch with on like certain days, because since like it's an hour-long lunch, I could like go over and we could like have a picnic outdoors and it was nice out. So yeah, I think I kept in with like a little circle of friends, and then those who were outside my circle, I would usually just like text or, you know, keep in touch. So through this global pandemic, I have learned about that it is really important to be self-motivated and driven, because you know, you're in virtual school. It's so easy to just turn off your laptop and go right back to bed. Like it's so incredibly easy. So motivation is really, really low. So I think having to just be self-motivated and just be like, okay, I have to get the work done, and like be goal-oriented with your work and seeing it as an accomplishment to be like, oh, I got my homework done, and so you feel freer, so you don't have that panicky thing inside of you, just like, oh, I have to get my homework done. I think those skills of being self-motivated and like learning to focus despite being surrounded by so much distraction is really important, and I think is a valuable skill that I learned. A lasting impact of navigating life through this global pandemic, I think, is like to not take anything for granted. Because, I mean, you never know when a global pandemic is gonna hit you and affect everything and turn your life upside down. So really, like a lot of the things you took for granted, like being able to hang out in groups of people and concerts and traveling and go to pools in the summer, that was taken away. So I think to really embrace everything and not take everything for granted. So I'm going to the University of Louisville for a BA in communications. I intend to minor in business administration, and I am part of the honors program. I am Avril DeLaLlana, and I am a graduate from Lafayette High School.